Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it. Ow.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. And take over starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow. Step one, self-love above anything else. Unlock peace and happiness.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to At the Root of It. My name is Shannon, and on tonight's show, we have our Wives Club. We have two new wives on the show tonight, which I am so excited to hear their take on marriage and what it entails. We still have the same people in reference to the wives, but it's some people that could not make it tonight. But the show must go on, right? So that is exactly what we're going to do. And before we get into the nitty gritty of everything and I bring my ladies on, I just want to tell you guys the mission statement of At the Root of It. The mission statement is that we are building a community of both men and women who are on a journey of self-love and healing. We do recommend that the topics that we speak about could be sometimes sensitive, and sometimes you may not be able to handle some of the topics, and we really recommend that if you need to go and talk to somebody, please do. We really, really, really recommend therapy. We need, as a people, need to be able to go and speak to someone that is not biased to our situation, that can help us through our situations and our traumas. We give Bible references because that is my faith. That is who I believe in. I believe in Jesus, and I believe in God, and I believe that He's a fixer of all things. And everything that we go through in this life is actually in the Bible. And if we stop trying to center our attention on who wrote the Bible and actually the words that's in the Bible and follow the principles, a lot of these things we would not have to worry about. Secondly, before we bring on our ladies, we're going to do what we always do every Sunday night. It is time to share, share, share. So let's share the broadcast, because this is going to be a great, 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 great show. And I am very, very excited to hear what's going to come out. We have three ladies on tonight. We have one of our vets, Sabrina Pittman, and we have two new ones that y'all can actually comment in and chime in and actually pick their brains, because we need answers to questions that we have, right? So we're going to get down to it. Let's just share the broadcast. If you can, share it with friends and in your group and everything. Because I think that for the people who want to be married and get married, this is the show for you, because we are still on this singles ministry, or I'm not going to say singles ministry because I'm not a minister, but this singles series, okay? Because there's a lot of people who's dating without a purpose. There's a lot of people who's striving to reach the marriage stage in our relationships, but we're wondering why we haven't received the ring yet. What could we possibly do wrong? Do we have a pattern of pursuit? Are we pursuing wrong? Should we be pursuing? Like everything, all of these questions, all right? So let's just share, share, share. I'm going to share in my groups as I normally do, because I want people to tune in. All right. So we're doing that. You're watching on YouTube. Hey, Tinge. Hello, Elder. Thank you for tuning in. That's Sabrina's husband, guys. And our special guest, that's her brother. So we are here tonight. We are here tonight, but I'm just sharing, okay? Let's get this share going. And then we're gonna hop into this hot topic, okay? But we gotta make sure that we share. So whoever's online, please let me know. But we're gonna share, and share some more. All right. So the first person that is up. Okay. So I've known her for years and years and years and years, about 20 years. I've known her for 20 years. And she's been my sister friend from the word hello. And it shows when you can sustain a friendship for that long, it talks and speaks about your character and who you are as a person. And I'm so grateful that I have great people in my life that has that's been here for the long haul, for the good times, the bad times, ups, downs, sideways, all of that. And this is one of my, she's off something happened. All right. I don't see her, but she's going to come back. But while I'm speaking about her, she's been my sister in Christ since 2001 or 2, maybe 3 or 4. We sang together. We've cried together. We've been there through thick and thin with each other. And in 2000, I want to say in 2009, 2010, she got married. And she gave me the antidote, and I didn't listen, right? I did not listen at all of what she said to me. And to this day, I'm hard-headed, so I didn't listen. But she'll be back on. So right now, we're going to bring on Sabrina, who I met at church. And I just feel that she's such a sweet spirit, and I believe that this is her coming out season. I believe that she has a lot to say and don't even realize it, but she has a lot of jewels, and she just inspires me because of the simple fact that she's been married for 30 years to the same man, and that is hard to come by. Most people nowadays can't even last 3 years, let alone 30. So we thank God for that, right? We thank God for all of that. And we also, listen, I'm about to go into warfare because today has been a day, but nevertheless, we're still going to keep pushing on. We're going to keep striving. So without further ado, introducing to some and presenting to others, I have Sabrina Pittman and Toy Mobley. Give y'all a round of applause. How are you guys doing tonight?
We are fine.
Well,
we're doing
that
fine.
Is so good. I'm so happy that y'all are here tonight. I'm so happy that you have graced me with your presence one more again. And I believe that I know that this show has helped me tremendously, and I hope that it will help other people as well. I just kind of changed the screen a little bit. So if you can move over a little bit. Let's see how we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm. That's good right there. Which way?
That's good. All right. I think we're on money. Now, I was given an introduction on Cynthia, but Cynthia is driving, so she'll pop in and out. She's driving from Alabama to Georgia, and that's fine. But outside of that, I still have 2 great women online tonight. So, Sabrina, introduce yourself to everyone. Let everybody know who you are, and then Toy, by all means, you follow right after.
Hey, Red. So my name is Sabrina Pittman, and like Shannon said, I have been married 30 years to the same man. September 28th will be 31 years. We have 5 children, and we have now 11 grandkids. We own our own insurance agency, Pittman Financial Services. And I am just grateful to be here tonight to share with my sister-in-law.
I wanted to spread the camera a little bit wider so they can see exactly who we talking to, right? So I'm so grateful for you being on because, like I said, 30 years is a long time. And at the end of the day, you stuck it out. Y'all still thriving. You're still striving. And you're still making moves, the Pittman. So, you know, that's goals to me. Not vacationing in the Bahamas, not a shopping spree. I want to know, my goal is who is going to help me with my medicine when I'm 60 years old? Who is going to be there for me if something happens and I get sick? Who's going to be there when our kids need help and we need to laugh at the foolery that the kids is doing? Like, you need a companion, you need a partner, you need somebody that's going to stick with you in spite of everything. So that is goals for me. And although I'm 45, if I was to stay married 30, I would be 75 if I get married today. Okay, and I don't think that's gonna happen. So that's I'm losing already, but I can strive for it. I can strive for it.
It's possible. It's not too
late. Elder said, y'all, I'm good looking. I guess he's saying y'all are good looking women. Y'all are good looking women. And then we have Vonda Bowman Harmon.
Oh, yeah, we met her yesterday for the first time. Yeah.
Oh, look at God.
Yes. Hey, Miss Vonda.
Beautiful spirit.
I'm touching stuff I'm not supposed to touch. So she says, good evening, ladies. Good evening. So let's get back here. Okay. So, Miss Toy, can you introduce yourself to us? I'm going to take myself off screen so you can have the floor, Mama.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight. My name is Toy. I've been married for 17 years. I have a blended family of 6, and we'll just, oh yeah. And I have a new grandbaby that is on the way, and I'm totally excited about that. He's expected to be here any day now, so I'm anxiously awaiting him, and that's just a little bit about me.
About that, I have the same testimony. I have a grandbaby coming. So I'm very happy as well too.
This is my first. Is this your first?
No, it's my second.
Oh,
but it's still I only have one child, so I get the joy of, because I got blessed with one. I didn't want my daughter to have one child because when I'm gone, who's gonna help my daughter? Who's gonna console? Who's gonna, so I don't like that I only had one kid, but I'm so grateful that I had a kid. So, it's a catch-22, right? But she's 24 now, so, and I think that Cynthia is back as well. And
she's in the rain.
Yes. Hey, Jen. Hey, how are you, Mama? Thank you for tuning in. I'm so thankful that you are here. All right, and we're gonna add Cynthia to the mix.
She came just in time.
Yeah.
And there is my sister. Hello, darling. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Blessed to be here. Let me quickly
I
introduce
am so
myself before
grateful
I
that you are here.
potentially be dis-
I explained to the people
So I am
that you
Cynthia
are
Bowden.
traveling.
I,
So if you go in and out, it's perfectly fine. But I
yes.
just if you go in and out, I already explained that you're traveling on your way back from Alabama. But I'm so grateful. I gave this long, long introduction, and you said boop, and you was gone. I was like, oh man. But this is my
Exactly.
sis. This
Yes.
is my sister from another mother. We've been through a lot, and we hold each other down. We hold each other accountable. And just introduce yourself, Mama. Introduce yourself. Oh, you look like you stuck. Yeah, you stuck. It's a pretty picture though. Don't y'all agree? Ain't that a pretty snapshot? That's a pretty snapshot. She's gonna be proud that that court is a nice smile. She's shining in red. It's a nice shot. Well, I'm gonna take her off screen, and we're gonna get down to business and see what we can bring to the table tonight. So, Miss Toy, I'm gonna come for you first. And the reason why is because we want to know how it happened for you with you being a 17 in a 17-year marriage, and also about the blended family. See, because a lot of times people don't know how to treat children in a blended family. People don't know how to make it equal across the board so that no child feels like they're left out, and how to love on a child that is not yours. You know what I mean? Because some people can't do it. Some people is like, my child, that's my child, and that's your child. And that's not how things work. That's not how things work around here. So we want to know. I'm telling you, this thing, whew, patience, Jesus, patience. I'm telling you, as soon as I rock it, the thing says, so it's waving at y'all, it's waving, but please don't charge it to my heart. But so, Toy, did you believe that the first year of your marriage was the hardest?
Absolutely not. I did not believe that was the hardest year. Reason being, everything is new. It's excitement, the marriage, the wedding. You haven't really gotten accustomed to being married. So all
Right.
of the fluff is still there, So that definitely was not the toughest part of the marriage, the first
Right.
year. That was the exciting part of the marriage. Everything is new. You're still lovey-dovey. Very little arguments, very little disagreements. Everything is honey, sugar pie. It's still there. Right. It's to that level at the beginning. Right. You know that I love you. It's all of that. It's whatever you want. You're still going out to eat. You're still opening up wedding gifts. You're still saying, what side of the bed you want to sleep on? Do you like this and do you like that? That's the new part of the marriage. Yes,
Right.
that's what everybody knows about marriage. So absolutely not. The first year is the wonderful year.
Wow. You know what that said to me, to be quite honest? Let me tell you what that said to me. What that said to me was that you was really truly in love with your husband when you married him. See,
Absolutely.
because that honeymoon stage, from my experience, I don't have that much experience, as you know, but from my outside looking in, right? I mean, all hell breaks loose in that first year. It's like, because the enemy doesn't want marriage, right? He wants y'all to be out, y'all. He wants us to be out there, fornicating and having. And this is a word that keeps coming to me, and it's lasciviousness. Do you know what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Means?
She's working on, what did she say?
Do you know what lasciviousness means?
No.
Okay, so lasciviousness is basically like lust, but unnatural lust, unnatural, unorthodox. Like in Timothy it says, in the end days people will fall prey to the lust of their flesh, like anything goes type. That's lasciviousness, right? And that's what the enemy wants to try to keep us in, us singles, right? So I'm just educating the singles out here on how we get caught up in lasciviousness, because we're trying to figure out where we fit. We don't have too many people speaking on our behalf. We don't have people sowing into us and pouring into us about how we should live, what we should do. We don't have those things, right? So we tend to, not me, but people out there could fall into lasciviousness. So that first year, right, of marriage, I saw people get attacked. Like they was ready to end it like by the second month. Like, that was you, Sabrina? Really? Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, you ain't let Toy get to the blended family, because our family was blended also. So we'll give you all that scoop in a minute. So mine was just the opposite of what Toy said. There wasn't any wedding gifts because it really wasn't a wedding. I told you, we went to the Notary Public and she gave me a plastic bouquet of flowers. When we got together, he was just coming out of a divorce. I had never been married. I was 22. He was 24. He had 3 kids. I had 2. So we had a 2-year-old, a 3-year-old, 2 5-year-olds, and a 9-year-old. And I was just 22. Right. And so when we got together, it wasn't, all the fluff. I wasn't kind of in la la land, because I was like, oh my gosh, he's saved, he's a Christian. I had never had that. He asked me to marry him. Oh my gosh, that's my first time. So I'm in la la land. But at the same time, after we got engaged and got married, that flesh side, I thought I was still in love with somebody else all of a sudden, and I should have waited.
That's what I'm talking about. That's the enemy.
Yeah. Soul tie, basically. It's like I should have waited. So that first year was really difficult for us, because we was like, we probably shouldn't have done this. Sleeping together when we weren't supposed to be. And so we're like, it's all wrong. We didn't. So when people say the husband that God gave me or sent me, no, that's the one I chose. I was like, I like you. You like me?
We get married.
We get married. Right. So you're just the total opposite. So for that first year, it was like, we was like, no, we didn't do it the right way. Maybe we shouldn't be together. I think I still want to be over there. I don't know if I made the right choice. So when you see us 30 years later, because my mama said it wouldn't last 2 years. My mama said, I give you 2 years and y'all will be done. So this September, Yeah.
Sorry,
This
Mom.
September be 31. It'll be 31 this September, but a lot has went into that 31. And like we said last time, our airplane was built in midair. We built
Yes.
this in the air, and now we're landing, and all is well. So, yeah, all is
Because
well.
now,
So
but I look at it different. Now y'all are soaring.
Right.
yes,
To me.
yes.
Now y'all are soaring. Like y'all was in a holding pattern for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Going around in circles waiting for y'all to land. Y'all kind of landed, but then y'all got back up again and y'all soaring.
Yes. We
Evening,
still at it.
Tifa. Tifa is on. Good evening.
Hi, Tifa. So, that's what I wanted to give you. That's my friend Gina. So I shared it on my page. So
Hello, friend Gina. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for tuning in. So you said something, right? And I'm not trying to make it over super spiritual, but people need to really understand because you said soul tie.
Oh yeah.
Right. And one of the things that at the root of it, our main purpose, right, is to get to the root of the issue so that we don't bring baggage into our next situation. You understand? A lot of times, and I was telling my daughter this, and I think I said it on last week's show, that a lot of times when we come to the table, we bring us and our wounds and plop it on the table and say, here, how you like me now? You know what I mean? And you expect somebody. I sounded like Kumo D, didn't I? How you like me now?
I see you with the shades on now. I see the shades. Right
I was like, wait a minute, I'm showing my age, number one. But we drop our wounds on the table expecting somebody to help us heal, right? And that's the number one problem, because we should be coming whole, or at least understanding what our triggers are, and that we were trauma bonding, because that is a word, that is a thing, to trauma bond, because we have like experiences. We're going to get together, although there's no love, there's no compatibility, it's just chemistry, right? But because we have the chemistry, and because we went through the same trauma, whether it's molestation, abandonment, rejection, so because we understand each other's plight, we're going to get together, right? But now you got two toxic people who's unhealed, right? Who don't know who they are, who are still allowing the past to dictate their future, and you're trying to build something on sand. A storm comes, you're getting knocked down. Point blank in the story. There's no way that it's going to be able to stand. But because we don't want to deal with our issues on here, or even admit that we have issues, right? We want to come and we bring that representative, right? I got it all together. I know what I want. I'm healed. Lies. You know what I mean? Oh, I've dealt with it. And then wonder why after a certain amount of time, the thrill is gone. Who sang that song? The thrill is gone. Who's that? Ray Charles? You know?
No, that's B.B. King.
Yeah.
The thrill be gone, and now you tied.
Yeah.
You tied to somebody that you like. Who's this demon? Who do I just tie myself to? Right?
Right.
And then you said, so that soul tie thing, right? We're trying to start over without cutting the soul ties. You understand? Because that's where your dilemma came. Your dilemma came after 2 months. You said 2 months, right? All of a sudden, I'm in love with another man. Look. And I know it ain't right. You know what I mean? And it's because, number one, the cords wasn't cut. And number two, you ain't think it through. But God, because so anything is possible if you put work into it. So I'm great. But also, y'all had some kids, and that. Did y'all have baby mama drama, baby daddy drama? Like, did y'all have that too, along in the mix?
Of course.
Yes,
Of
Dennis.
course.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
I'll let John Dylan go first. Toy. Yes, Lord. We lied.
I just want to speak on alignment first, because
Nice. I like that.
It's a good one.
when we don't align, vertically, meaning us with God, then this is when we encounter all of these things. A lot of people say that prior to marriage, all of the things that they did, I can't admit to that. I didn't. For me, it was exactly what you said. There was a physical attraction, there was a mental attraction, there was a sexual attraction, and then it became marriage. That's exactly how it came. We didn't consult God to say, hey, is she for you? Is he for you? And then you become one. We did things out of the will of God. It wasn't according to God's will. I wish that I would have done things differently, but as human nature, we do things our way, and then we want God to fix it.
Yes.
So that's what we do. We find the love of our life that we think, and then God, you turn my mess into a miracle. Because then we put demands on God, and then we want to put that mess into the microwave, and then want this man to be who we prayed for after we have married him. So now I want this 6 foot strong man, loving, working hard, all these good characteristics of a man that we didn't consult God with first. So we do things out of order. That's what I want to say first of all. We didn't align. So that's what got us to some of the situations that we were in and are in. Okay.
Right.
So I just wanted to add that for those that are single, God first. And it's not, him first in all things. And then as far as the blended family is concerned, when he and I met, I only had 1 child and he had 4. So then he and I have a child together, which made 6. That's our blended family. Well, a period of the time that he and I were together, and we still are, but at that particular time we weren't married. I had the opportunity of raising 2 of his children, then a 3rd. So they stayed with us for some time. And I'm just a true believer of there is no step, because that's not what we say and that's not what we do. It is not step. Though I accept the man, so I accept his children. I love them, they love me, and we love each other. Am I telling you that it is peaches and cream? No. But we love one another, we respect one another, and that is what it is. So you do know that in a household, the woman basically runs the household. So whenever the children came, because they were girls, so I had to comb hair, I had to tend to them and show them things from a woman's perspective. And loving them and caring and nurturing for them, I felt obligated to that because they were his children, which became mine. And if I separated them from us, now the house is separated, And then you have children going against children, because children can see things. They know that, oh, you treat this one different from when you treat that one. So they began to play one against the other, and now the house becomes divided. So I didn't have that issue with separation with children. I embraced them. I love them in spite of. That's what I want to say, in spite of, because we had situations, we had circumstances that was not their fault, you know, and I don't believe that children should be accountable for adult situations because that's what we created. My husband, myself, and his children's mother, we created those situations, and the children aren't responsible for the situations that we created. So I love them then, and I still love them now, and we're blended. It's just what it is.
See, and I love that. I love that you said that. And the reason being is because I'm one about fairness, right? And I was in a relationship when my daughter was like 5, and the man that I was with, his daughter was 5 too. And I could not do for my child and not do for her.
Absolutely.
And okay, so remember last week or the week before when that whole big thing about the child's father bringing his child McDonald's home?
Yes.
Okay. So I saw both sides of the coin with that, right? The first side is that no, it is not his responsibility to take care of other people's kids. However, from her point of view, she has to live in that house, and now her other kids is going to resent him because, oh, you think you better because your father, and she has to now deal with the division in her home. Now, most men may not think that far, right? They're just saying, okay, well, I shouldn't have to take care. It's not my fault. You have kids by multiple men, and it's not my job to do it. But he could have did something different. He could have came pick his child up and took him to McDonald's instead of bringing him McDonald's when you know it's a slew of kids in there, because it's not fair. And you make it hard for your kid, and you make it hard for the other kids to even like you. It kind of reminded me of Joseph and his brothers, right? Great brother, right? The man that had the coat of many colors. The father loved him, and blah 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 blah. But these other jokers, it's like, yo, we've been here for years, like 10 years.
Yeah, that's what he said. Like the prodigal son, when the brother came back, he questioned, like, why are you cutting the fat off the cow? You know, why are you celebrating him? And the dad explained to him, and he said, you've been here with me all the while. You have everything that I have. Everything that I got, it belongs to you. He was lost, now he's found. But to him, it didn't seem fair that, okay, I've been here all along and you never celebrated me. But now he come and you celebrate him. So I can understand what you're saying when the coin is on the flip side. So basically that scenario, to me, it came, the way that I viewed it, it was like a legal responsibility and a moral obligation. That's the way that I see it. Morally, you feed all the children. Legally, I am not obligated. But morally, you do what's right. It's the right thing to do, because that's just morally the right thing to do, is to feed the children. It's almost like you see a child there and you give one a piece of candy, but and it's a stranger, and you see the baby, they want candy. What do? You ask the mom, can they have a piece? It's just morally the right thing to do.
Right. And I just think that it was blown up, but because people are about self, and especially what you said, Toy, in reference to what your husband and the kid's mother had nothing to do with the kids. I stress that so much because I don't hide a lot of things about me. I'm very transparent. So when my daughter's father, he cheated on me with my best friend, right? And he married her, right? But I was angry. I was hurt. I was disgusted. I wanted to beat him up. I wanted to beat her up. I wanted to do all types of stuff, right? But I had a little girl that was looking at me,
Mhm.
right? So I made a conscientious decision to show my daughter class above all else. Because I can either sink to their level and be no better than them, or I can show her how you handle situations like this, and how you still keep your head up and your crown still on, even in the sight of calamity, because that was calamity to me. You know what I mean? To have to deal with that, right?
I agree. Mhm.
So I was the mother who took I made sure that my daughter had a relationship with her father. And it was because my emotions are not her emotions.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And I'm not going to make her hate something about her father that he didn't do to her. He did it to me.
Right.
And there's so many women out there. And I know we're kind of off the topic of marriage, but this is still some meat and
It's
potatoes.
a part of it. It definitely is. It's necessary. Yes.
Yes.
So,
But
you know,
but you
go
said
ahead,
something about what you did. But I can honestly say it takes two. Because where I can speak for my husband, he loved his children.
right.
Anybody that knows him know that he loves his children, all of them equally, right? Not just because my daughter, his daughter that he had from me was in the household with him. I admire him and commend him because he didn't just show my child or my children love. He showed that same love equally to his children and still do today. It's like, that's just who he is. You can't be a part of him and exclude his children. All men aren't like that. I can honestly say he loved them. He just, to know him is to understand that he loved his children.
All women are
Right.
Right, you're right. All women aren't, but it's more common that women do love their children and embrace their kids, but it's not normally
Common.
when a man gets with a woman. It's whatever that woman dictate to. Oh, the kids can't come. They can't do this. Well, it was never that way with my husband. He would always, as me as the wife, I would always say, well, let's get the kids. And I only had one rule, that they could come anytime they wanted to, just when my kids was gone, that they could not come. Because if I'm getting some free time, then I
want free time. Period, point blank.
Right. And that was the only thing. Come anytime you wanted to, because kids is kids. All they was gonna do was play, And I had girls, and he had two girls, and he had a boy. But anyway, I was saying that men sometimes do not demand that the mate that they're with respect their children as if they are their own. That don't happen a lot.
See, and with that, right? My daughter's father did what he did to me, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's a good father.
Right.
So I was able to separate the two. We set up raising my daughter just like as if we were married. And it was because we both grew up with a 2-parent home. As you know, Mrs. Vincent is his mother, right? So that's my daughter's grandmother, right? And so we knew what it was, even though I believe that Mrs. Vincent probably was more of a disciplinary than his father was. But in my household, with the way that I grew up, my father was the disciplinary, the provider, the protector, right? Mm. My mother was supposed to be the nurturer. She's nurturing now at 72, or 71 than she was when I was growing up. She had to grow into it, right? Because she always said, I ain't want y'all, your father wanted y'all, And she meant that. She did that wholeheartedly. I ain't want y'all, I ain't want no kids. That was your father, But so how we didn't agree on a lot of things, but what we did agree on was Jasmine and how we wanted to rear her. So anytime that I couldn't get her straight, it wasn't about me getting a belt or me putting her on punishment. I'm gonna call your father. And I learned that from my mother. My mother be like, wait till your father get home. You know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, but if I had a problem, I was calling her dad, right? Get her right. Because I'm about to choke her. You know what I mean? Get her right. And he would get her right. But he was also the fun dad because I hate the parks. I hate bugs and grass. I am scared of heights. So I'm not going to no amusement park. And if I go, I'm only going for the funnel cake. So I was not the ideal mother for a kid that wanted to have fun, because all the stuff that they like to do, I ain't like it. You know what I mean? So he even filled in the gap with that. So when he passed away, right, after everything was said and done, and after I would, you know, he passed away when my daughter was 18. When everything was said and done, I realized that me putting myself aside to allow my daughter to have a genuine relationship with her father was the benefit for my daughter at the end. She was remembered the most. And not to say that his other kids were not important, because they were. I made the extra steps. When life hit her dad, I wasn't like, oh yeah, your father ain't crap, blah, blah, blah. I wasn't that. I said to her, let me tell you something, baby. When you're living this life, sometimes life happens. And I believe that life happened for your dad. And he's going through the motions of life. But when he comes back, he's going to come back with a bang. And I said that in June. By August, that man came back with a bang to show her that no, I love you. I'm here for you. And everything that I told her about him, he proved it. Now, she learned later on what he did. You know, I didn't have to broadcast it. She had eyes to see. She has a mind to think, to come up with a conclusion, whether she thought it was trifling, wrong, or whatever. I allow her to come to those conclusions herself. I didn't need to add or take away, right? Because I never, ever, ever wanted her to disrespect her dad. I don't care how messed up he was. That's your dad. And you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. So you gotta give him honor regardless. I can want to trip him, but you can't, because it's not your fight. It's not your fight, it's my fight. I'm gonna trip him. You don't trip him. You know? You know?
I agree with that.
So many people just allow their emotions to take over in marriages and relationships and mess up the kids in the process. So I'm very happy that you guys were able to blend your family, and in spite of the baby mama, baby daddy drama, that y'all was still able to stick through, because people give up the ghost too quick. And I'm one of them. I will throw in the towel in the heartbeat. I have no, I'm not doing it. Yeah. So it's like, oh, this is how, and I'm gone. I ain't working on nothing. I don't want to work on it. So I know that's one thing that I probably got to shift.
You got to work on that if you're planning on getting your husband anytime soon.
You got to reign with them sometimes. You know, you got to reign with them sometimes. But it's not like it was, you know, like everything. Eventually, it all came together. You know, because with everything, you have your rocky moments, you have your smooth, and then rocky and smooth. That's why I say eventually it all jointly fit together and worked out eventually. You know, because nothing is perfect. You know what I'm saying? You have emotions running around everywhere. And like I said, initially, we didn't align. It's not like we set the kids down and prepared them for the family to become blended. That's not what we did. we fell in love with one another, and this is how it's going to be, like it or not. Where, you know, you have little people that have feelings, and how we were raised was do as I say. That's it. There's a period. It's not a comma. So that means that it stops and not continue. So we didn't do things of consulting with children and accommodating kids for our lifestyle. We did what we wanted to do and expected for them to adjust to what we wanted to do, you know,
Right.
and then we come back and say, that's life. You know, I'm not, and I'm notorious for saying, I'm not going to allow nobody to dictate to my life. I'm notorious for saying that, you know, I'm going to do what I want to do. You're not going to dictate to me. That's my slogan. I say that. And when I say it, I mean it to a certain degree. Like, my happiness is predicated on me. I know
Right.
that some decisions that I made, it may affect you, but overall, I have to be okay with living with it. You know what I mean? So,
See, but
I mean,
boy, I want to say something with that, right? Because before I lose the thought rather. The difference between 17 years ago and now is the willingness to
right,
go the long haul. Okay,
right.
so for the most part, you have one participant that is willing and another one that's teetering. And that teeter gets you this.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I'm not going to be willing and ready to work on something. And you're like, well, nah, kind of, sort of, well, I think but no.
Right.
You got to go. Get out of here, you know? So,
You gotta get some patience, Shannon. You gotta get some patience. I mean, what if nobody told him? What if nobody taught him how to be a husband? What if he don't know? I ain't saying that she have to teach him, but you gotta have some patience, or go to counseling to say, hey, I don't know how to be a husband. And that's what Kelvin and we talked about when we were 22 and 24. We didn't know nothing about, man, we got 5 kids. We don't have no money. We barely making it. We got each other and these 5 kids. You know what I mean? Going back and forth. You know what I mean? They get mad here. They go back to their mama's house. They get mad with her. They come back to our house. You know what I mean? Back and forth. What I'm saying. But if nobody taught you how, I didn't know how to be a wife. Maybe he don't know, so maybe just gotta have a little patience. And like Kelvin and I was talking yesterday, where it's like, hey, do some almost like research, really get to know a person. Like he was like, baby, I didn't know that when you was in the 6th grade that y'all moved from another state and you had to wear track cleats to school because I didn't have no money. I didn't know you. You got to find out the background of a person. You know what I mean? Man, where this person really came from. And like you were saying, he damaged, you damaged. I grew up one way. Kelvin grew up another way. You know what I mean? For example, I grew up in a kind of quiet household, single mother. You know what I mean? Kelvin grew up in a kind of a louder household. You know what I mean? So us coming together, it's bringing a lot together, but maybe he don't know how.
And you're right about that. You're so right about that.
I'm saying you got to give him a little leeway, just a little bit, because I'm just saying the girls, I don't know, a lot of the women that I listen to talk nowadays that's single, the way that a lot of y'all talk, I'm like, and they gonna be single.
See, but that's why I'm doing these shows. Yeah, that's why I'm doing these shows, because I don't want to be single. And it was so funny because Mrs. Vincent asked me the other day, she said, Shannon, you really want to do marriage at 45? I said, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do. And she said, well, I guess if you've never been married, you will want to experience it. She said, but girl, if I was 45, and I'm like, but you've been married for 45 years. You've been married my whole life. You know what I mean? So you would say that. But as for me, I have patience, right? I do, and I'm loyal, right? So if I'm there, I'm there.
Right.
But if I don't see effort in trying to change, if
Gotcha.
I don't see effort in
Effort.
trying to understand who I am as a person, as I'm trying to understand who you are as a person, then I'm not wasting my time because I'm 45.
Right. And I guess that goes back, Shannon, to what I told you in the first episode. The question was, what did you do to prepare for marriage? And remember, my answer was absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
We didn't seek. Well, I did. You know, this part what Tori was talking about, the alignment. It was, you know, we just did it. So
That's what you felt.
yeah, that's what I felt.
And that's what you did.
And that's what I did.
Mm-hmm.
And there were consequences to pay for that. You're like, oh my gosh. But the counseling, godly counseling, not your friends telling you, girl, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. No, you gotta really have some true godly counseling, not your single girlfriends. And not some of your married friends, because if they're in a bad marriage, that's why she said, girl, if I was still 45, ooh, honey, because I don't know what you done been through. So you might not have had a good marriage, you know, in these 45 years. So you telling me, don't even try, girl. It ain't all what you think it is. But that's not
It's
true.
not what it's all cracked up to be. Oh, we waving.
It's not what it cracked up to be. But yeah, truly seek out godly counseling, somebody that you know is in touch with God to lead you all in the right direction. And yeah, that's what happens.
And I think when you seek the counseling, just from my perspective, because we had counseling, but it was only the minimum counseling required to be married. So the law requires you to either have to wait or you seek the counseling, you know. So with the counseling, it does need to be godly, but it also needs to be with some longevity to it, you know, because that'll let you know, having those conversations and getting to know your mate beyond just being with one another. I mean, mentally, because that's very important to know your mate mentally. Oftentimes, because I think what I understood you to say when you say deuces, you don't have time for that, was brokenness. Those that are broken, your pieces are shattered. I'm not here to put them together. That's not what you don't have time for.
I'm not
right.
the Kingsman.
Right. You're not
gonna put this back together.
Let me interject right there then. So are we talking about looking for a perfect man?
There isn't one.
Because there isn't one.
There isn't a perfect man, but I think what we're saying is, if you're broken, I'm not trying to be there to fix you in every aspect, because that means I'm depositing all into you. But what are you? You're a sponge. You're sucking up everything. But so that tells me I'm going into something giving more than what I'm receiving. It has to be a reciprocal relationship. It has to be balanced. It has to be balanced. So I'm not here to be. Right. I'm not here to re-raise a marriage. But you know, that means that, okay, let's just say, like, you and I talk all the time. Yes. I have a strong personality. My sister-in-law is passive. So we balance each other, right? So wherein what's offensive to her may not be offensive to me. So just take that as in a marriage. You know, you always need something to balance and stimulate one another. So if you're not working on anything, but I'm working on everything, your brokenness is still broke.
Right.
You got to be willing to put something into it.
I understand. I totally understand having patience, because of the simple fact that I know that none of us has arrived, right? But what I am looking for is someone that's willing. See, willingness.
Right. Yeah.
Way.
Right.
Okay. We've come to terms that we're not perfect.
Right.
We come to terms that we don't like everything about each other. But I'm willing to fight this good fight with you. I'm not giving up on you. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. Who you think you leaving? I need somebody to show me that type of energy. Where you think you going? We're not doing this. We staying. You're not gonna run. I'm not gonna allow you to run. You know, but these people out here is like, well, I don't have no work to do on myself. Yes,
right.
Yes, you do. You know what I mean? Who you think you're fooling? You understand what I mean? Because
there's no people out there that really believe that.
Yes.
But like our pastor, right? Our pastor and first lady, they are married, right? But they go to counseling even now.
Mm-hmm.
And they talk about it. They talk about the things that that's showing that they're willing. They're willing to work on it continually. I need somebody like that. If I see that you give up on the small things, like you can't get this nail or this screw in right because it's going slanted and it ain't going straight, and you're like, I can't do it. You gotta give up spirit for me. You ain't even trying to find a solution. Why am I gonna pour into you? Why?
Well, I can't say this, Shannon.
And then there's so many takers out there. There's so many people that are
single.
Huh?
Being single, this is what single men and women need to know.
I'm on speak.
A marriage is sacrifice.
Yes.
What are you willing to give up? There is no more I. When you are in a marriage, it is a sacrifice. It becomes us. I goes out the window. There is no I in team. When you are married, you become a team. And when I say a team, I mean a team. I don't mean your account and my account. I mean our account. I don't mean your bills and my bills, our bills. I don't mean your children, my children, our children. You cannot think that you're going to be married on paper and live a single life. It's just not successful. It is not.
Tifa said on the last. I'm sorry to cut you off. Tifa said in the last Wives Club, she said if you have separate bank accounts, you're already preparing for divorce.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. I know, and when she said that, I was like, many people that's gonna disagree. Many are gonna disagree with that analogy. Many. Because I think in a marriage, you have to find who is the stronger financial person. That's correct.
Right.
Whoever is the stronger. And let me say this. I wouldn't mind. And I told my sister-in-law this not long ago. I said, you're blessed, not just because you're married to my brother.
Oh, wow.
Right. not just that, because that's just one of the many blessings, but you're blessed because you have a man, not a husband, I said a man that gets involved, and you can rest assured that your bills are going to be paid. You don't have to worry about that because you have a provider and a protector. You have that. You have it. That's just his nature. That's what he's going to do. And she said, well, I guess I could count myself blessed. I said, you are. I said, so many of us as women that is handling things in the household wish that we had a man that we could submit to. We want it. We want to be able to submit. But because
I'm tired of leading. I want to lead me. I'm tired of making decisions on my own. I'm tired of messing up money. I'm tired of just all the stupid stuff that I be doing. I want to be like, what you think? Okay, we doing what you say because I'm the decision maker because I'm single and I don't want to make no more decisions by myself. I want to be like, ask my husband.
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah.
So you want me to do something? Let me go talk to my husband. I want to say those words so I can say, what you think? And if he say, nah, I don't want you to do that. Well, my husband said, and if now the onus ain't on me. It ain't on me. My husband, and I can say it proudly, like my husband said no. You know, I'm so.
Be careful what you ask for.
I know. Wait. Okay, so let me put that out. Okay, so let me put a disclaimer, right?
No. I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
But I want someone that I can follow.
Yes.
So I say just make sure you want.
Yeah.
I want someone that I can follow, right?
There you go.
That's following after God.
There you
because
go.
if he knows how to follow, then I'm more readily able
and willing
to submit. Because if you commit to something that you can't see, right?
Come on.
And you can walk and follow his word, follow the principles of God and acknowledge him in all your ways, right? Then I can say, all right, but nowadays, being single, these men, let me tell you, I was on the phone last week, and I said this on last week's show. So I had, we're leaning on the Lord. Oh, Lord, we can't turn around. But I was on the phone. I had a conversation with a young man, right? And the conversation was going great. I mean, he knew his grammar. He knew how to speak well. You know, I ain't had to say, what you say? You know what I mean? Like, none of that. We had a great conversation. And so he got mute every time I say God. Every time I say God, he had nothing to say. And I was like, dang.
Here we go. That's major.
You gotta go. Because you can't follow. Now you got your own ideologies. You the white man wrote the book. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight if I gotta go to church on Tuesday. I don't want to fight if I gotta go to choir rehearsal on Thursday. I don't want to fight if I gotta, because I'm an intercessor, that I gotta be at prayer on Saturday early in the morning, which means I can't do what married people do on Friday night because my spirit gotta be right. I need somebody to understand my walk and my purpose with God, just like I would understand their walk and their purpose with God. And so, not that I don't have patience, it's just the fact that they not it.
Yeah, right.
It. You know what I mean? Because I'm very understanding, because who am I? I'm only 2 years old. You understand? So I lacked vision. I lacked ambition. I lacked goals until 2 years ago. So who am I to judge, right? Whether you in your beginning process or not, but you gotta be in the process. You gotta be in the race. If you're not in the race, what am I striving for? What am I fighting for? If you're not even in the race, you know. So it's not I'm listening though, Sabrina. You know I'm listening. I'm taking into account, because I guess I can't do that if I want to be married. So I'm really taking it into account. But I
just not be so quick. Just be not so quick to write a person off so quickly. I'm just saying,
but men write us off very quickly too, because they have a plethora of women that they can choose from. Okay.
Well, if you go to another woman, then he wasn't for you.
But you know he was. Nah, we take everything in. Men push everything out. So you know.
And then you don't know
hold on to feelings while they going on about their business. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to. It don't take much to please a woman. It really don't, you know. But
show me that you care.
Yeah.
Show me that we need time. We need some energy, and we need some hugs.
Yes.
See how short that list was? Well, you know, but well, we think that it's a lot of maintenance, but it doesn't take a lot for a woman to love. You know, you start showing her time, affection, and you know.
Yeah. I told your brother probably back in 2009 or something. I just told him, I just want to know that I'm number one. I'm not materialistic, never have been, don't take a lot to please me. I say, I just want to know that I'm first. I'm good.
Right.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. I just want to know that I'm number one.
And that, you know, sometimes people are like, oh, you're insecure. You should already know. No. It takes action behind the words. Action speaks louder than words.
Everybody love language. Love is different. You know, everybody love language is different. You know, for some, they require it to be said. Some require it to be shown. Some
we just went through the love languages, because at the root of it has a dating application, okay? Because there's certain things that we may miss because of chemistry, right? So it's some questions that we may miss and not ask, right? So my first question on my application was, what's your love language? Because we tend to try to love people the way that we want to be loved, and it'd be all wrong. So say I'm a physical touch person, because I'll sit there and rub you and you be like, why? But if you're not a person that like to be touched, I'm going, and I don't know that's not your love language, even though it's mine, I'm going to feel rejected, right? And that's going to bring forth. But if I know that you don't like to be rubbed, but you like words of affirmation, right? When you pull away, even though touch is mine, so I'm going to touch you, but I'm going to touch you. You know, you did a great job today. I'm so proud of you, because that's his love language. And maybe he won't do like this because you giving him what he need while you getting what you need. And it's balanced, but people don't want to find out what other people's love language is. Oh, I like to receive gifts, but what if he don't? You know, what if his is acts of service? Like, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna go and do this. Like, my brother is an acts of service type of guy. My brother go shopping for his girl. He out and he's like, oh, she gonna like this. You know what I mean? Well, that's gifts. You know what I mean? But it's acts of service. And, you know, some people just don't know what their love language is. And if you understand that there's 5, right? And that you can have more than one, just one has, takes precedence over the other ones. But ultimately, if you take the time to ask that question, I believe that it will spark thought, right? And it will give you a better understanding of your mate and how to love them. You know what I mean? And then you get rid of a lot of all the bull crap that comes along with it, because the Bible says, in all you're getting, get understanding, right? If we don't learn to understand each other, we can't grow, because we're not on the level to grow. So I love y'all. We actually went past our hour, right? I truly, truly love y'all. And I hope that you could come back, because I want to do this once a month, because it has helped me. It has helped me see that, okay, I'm a tad bit impatient, and just only a tad bit. Like, I'm a tad bit impatient, and I have to loosen up a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I have to give people a chance to show who they really are.
Get to really know them. Get to know them.
Right. But I did a show called Friends Before Lovers, because people don't know how to be friends. People know how to jump into lover's lane real quick and don't know jack about the person, like nothing, right? So I'm very good with Friends Before Lovers, because I placed myself there so many years ago. I'm the ultimate homegirl. The ultimate. homegirl. Like I put myself in homegirl mode constantly, and that could be one of my downfalls or pitfalls too. But I wanted to ask y'all a question because I have the wives club, but I want to comprise a club of husbands because in order to get the whole story, right? in order for us to get the understanding of their perspective, we need to ask some questions. So how do y'all think, what y'all think about that? You think that would be a good idea that we have a husband's club where they come and tell us like what PI is?
Are we all gonna be on together, or is it just gonna be a separate episode?
I don't know. What y'all think? I think because y'all have y'all time, I think that they should have their time.
Yeah. I just I just told Toy, I said, what do you think about it, Steel? I told her I want her to know that I named her and I Steel Velvet. Steel Velvet. That'll be our podcast name, is Steel Velvet.
Oh,
what do you think?
Listen, Sabrina, talk to me because I have some information that y'all gonna love. So God is doing great things. Just understand that at the root of it is making leaps and bounds, and things are about to happen for at the root of it. So I'm gonna definitely speak to you about that. But I think that the husbands should have their own show, just like the wives have their own show, so that they have freedom, so they ain't looking out the side of their eye like, should I say that? No, I want them to have the freedom to express themselves without feeling like they're hurting your guys' feelings. I want them to be able to say what they, say what they say, right? What y'all think?
Why not try one episode for them? What do you think?
That's fine. I mean, because it's going to be live anyway and it's recorded. So if they say the wrong thing, they're going to.
You can still go back and look. And like, remember what you said on that show? Remember? I didn't know that. Look, oh no, I don't want to start no ruckus. Let me tell you, but I just want to get their perspective because one of the things about at the root of it is, and with my theme music and all of that, I really wanted to pull them in because men are so underrated as far as their emotions go and their expressing of emotions. And I want them to understand that it's okay for them to heal too. It's okay for them to cry too. Mm-hmm. It's okay for them to vent too and not be judged by it. And not, because the same things that we as women go through, these guys go through it too and gotta pack it down and be like, but no, you need to talk about it too. So it's geared for men and women. That's why that's in my mission statement. I'm trying to build a community of both men and women, not just women. But women are more susceptible to hearing about things and opening up. But it takes a little, you got to pull some teeth with some men. But if we have someone, a group of men who is willing to express themselves and be transparent, and I think that it will be a balance. It will be a balance, especially Elder, because Elder knows how to talk to people and get them in, and express.
That's actually what 33 does, Shannon. The 33 Men's Ministry, it is just what you're explaining. That's what happens in 33, where they can just be open, transparent, cry. It's a wonderful, wish more men would attend it. And that's exactly what it is. What you're saying.
But that's just in our community. But what about the man in Indiana? What about the man in California? You know what I mean? That's in our area, and that's great. I love it. Me personally, I love that they're doing that. But there's so many people that don't have that, that don't have that outlet, and I just want to try to provide something for men to be able to realize how they feel. Not in the Kevin Samuels way of downgrading or degrading a woman to make themselves feel better, but for us to get an understanding of why men do what they do, why they feel the way that they feel, why they push down their emotions, where if they just would have spoke it out, what a difference it would make. You know what I mean? Just those different things. So I think that I'm gonna implement that in the coming months, because I love the Wives Club. Like, I love this because I'm gonna be a wife. It may not be this year. I'm gonna be a wife.
You still got a few months left.
I was about to say, or God may say, all right, I think you're ready. Boop. And I'm like, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We'll be at the wedding.
But I want to thank you guys so much for being on the show tonight. And hopefully, Toy, you'll be able to come back whenever I put out the Wives Club. It's gonna be once a month, because I think that we just need some stimulation. We need to understand what we're doing wrong and what we can tweak a little bit to get our desired results. So I hope that you wouldn't mind being a part of the Wives Club, because you brought some stuff to us today that I like. And I'm happy. And Cynthia's gonna, she don't know it yet, but she gonna be in this show next week by herself talking, because she thought she got away, but she ain't get away.
She didn't get away.
It was the weather. Blame it on the rain.
But she has a different perspective because she married a younger man. So it's different. So I want it all. You know what I mean? I want to hear it all, because
I told Toy, I said, it's so many different avenues we could go down with the wives thing. That's why I said, when you talked about the blended family, I was like, we could do blended family. We could do, like when Kevin and I got married, I had a disabled son.
Right.
But it's so many different things, topics that you could deal with. She don't say stepchildren, but children that are not yours biologically. It's a lot of different things that we could talk about. So it's kind of hard for us to get through all the questions that you had, because once you get started,
I noticed the second show, I think we only did like 3 questions still. Like this one was only 1.
Right. But see, especially when it's a good topic and you already experienced that, you can speak from your heart and your experiences, and when you start talking about a blended family, it becomes personal, and especially when you love them,
Yes.
It can. And I think a good topic will be, how do you love when it's resistant? Like that's a good topic, when
elaborate on that.
I'm ringing the bell on that.
Basically what I'm saying is, let's just say you have children, and it could be your biological child, and you're trying to embrace them, love them, nurture them, and care for them, but they're resisting your love. They think that they can go out here in this world without your direction. They think that they can stand, and they're ready for this wicked world that God says that we're in. They don't want to take anything from you. You don't know anything. Your advice doesn't matter. Everything that you try to deposit, they give it return to sender. How do you do that? I'm not saying just outside of the ones you didn't birth. Sometimes it's with the ones that you did birth, because every mother, every father does not have a positive relationship. You have some children that are broken.
Yes.
They're wounded and broken.
Let's talk about it, Toy. I'm all for that one.
They're broken from their parents, whether it be their mother or their father, and right there in the household with them, but they're broken. You got some that don't believe that their mother or their father really love them.
Right.
And they're right there feeding them, providing for them, protecting them. But no matter how good of a mother or father you are, our children can always find something for you to do and provide for them better. Always.
Yes.
It's always going to be opposition, always. When you're in leadership, it's always going to be opposition. So God has appointed us to be the leader over our children. And so it's always going to be an opposing situation. So when you start talking about the family, the blended, the family, you can just branch off of that and
we can go
for days because, that's what starts. That's where the root is, really. Because if we tap into our inner, a lot of these things that we won't even bring into the relationship. Because I won't bring not knowing how to love. I won't bring not knowing how to be affectionate. You know what I'm saying? I won't bring a lot of those things if you really tap in to the inside to find why I'm broken and what is broken. You follow what I'm saying?
How can we?
Right, and how can it be fixed? And a lot of it starts with being able to accept that it's there. Because like you said tonight,
that
you learned
acknowledge.
something that, hey, I need to have a little bit more patience. So that's a start for you. That could be a blocker. You know what I'm saying? If we can just recognize some things about us that needs to be fixed, then it's a start.
It's a win-win situation.
Right.
It's a win-win situation because then that means you're not leaving the same. You understand what I mean? You got something from it. So I know that I got to work on my patience. Okay. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do about that is I'm going to seek his face because only God can give it to me at 45. You understand what I mean? Like, it's not something that I could just pull out the sky because I have no patience and I hate waiting. That's Jay-Z. But
all of it.
Yeah.
I got a song for everything. But I don't have any patience. But it's not that I don't have. I don't have patience for foolishness.
Right.
It grows. Or is that you really have expectation? Okay, we type that through.
Oh, that's on
Facebook.
She's still talking. But we don't hear her.
No, it's behind. That's really behind. See, Facebook is really behind. Oh, it might cut her live off. You back? It's froze, Shannon. Your phone is breaking up. See, it's still ticking, so I don't want to say that. Mm-hmm. 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 Just put it on about 30 seconds, Terry. You asked me. Let's see, she just left. Does she have?
I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Oh, unmuted. Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I'm sorry. That's the devil. That's the devil. But
That's all right.
that's never happened before. But I guess that is our time. That's our time for the evening. But just know that we will be back next month with the Wives Club. I thank you guys for everything I have put up. Okay, y'all can see that. She said, "Thank you, ladies, for sharing and giving insight of the married family life, peace and blessings." Naeja said, "Great conversation."
Mhm.
My sister-in-law said, "You frozen." Eugenia said, "Yeah." She said, "We can hear you." And Tam said, "Thank you." I saw yours. Thanks for the invite, Sabrina. Thanks. I enjoyed our conversation. I did too. I love y'all. I thank y'all so very much for tuning in to At the Root of It. We will be on next week. Same bat station, same bat time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and YouTube. Please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel. It does not cost a thing, but it will help me monetize and bring the company up to where I want it to be to continue to help people out here that's in need. So go on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the bell to get the notifications when we're live. Because sometimes I just pop up during the week with a word if God so tells me. So hit your notifications. Please share the broadcast if you guys felt that it could help other people. And again, I will see you next week. Thank you so very much, Sabrina and Toy. I really,
welcome.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see y'all next month.
Yeah.
We're gonna have the other ladies back too, so it's gonna be a full Wives Club next month. But till we meet again, you guys, I love y'all to life. Have a great rest of y'all evening.
You do the same.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.
Welcome, everyone. We want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to be with us. Come on, let's get to the root of it.
In these times that we live, we take strides to move forward. We strive to be more, stay strong and be focused. Start a while, we make choices, live or die. The takeover starts at the root, and the truth may be hard to swallow.